What if I told you that if Earth suddenly stopped spinning, almost everything around you would be destroyed within minutes? Right now, as you watch this video, Earth is spinning at roughly 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. But we never feel it. Everything around us, the oceans, the atmosphere, the buildings, the cars, and even our own bodies, are moving at the same speed. So imagine this. In the very next second, Earth suddenly stops spinning, not slows down, stops. The ground beneath your feet becomes motionless, but everything above it keeps moving. And that is where the nightmare begins. Anything not firmly attached to the bedrock of the planet would continue traveling eastward at hundreds of miles per hour. In many parts of the world, the speed would be similar to a powerful jet aircraft. People, vehicles, trees, and entire structures could be thrown across the landscape. The destruction would be almost impossible to comprehend. Massive winds would immediately sweep across the planet. The atmosphere would keep moving even though the Earth had stopped. These winds could exceed speeds far beyond the strongest hurricanes ever recorded. Cities would be battered by unimaginable storms. Skyscrapers could collapse. Flying debris would turn entire regions into disaster zones. But the atmosphere is only part of the problem. Earth's oceans are also moving along with the planet's rotation. If the spinning suddenly stopped, the water would not stop with it. Gigantic walls of water would surge across coastlines. Tsunamis unlike anything in human history would race inland, swallowing cities, highways, and entire communities. Places thousands of miles apart would experience catastrophe at nearly the same time. And while all of this chaos unfolds, millions of people would be asking the same question. How could something so stable become so deadly in a single second? The answer is simple. Earth's rotation is not just a background detail of our planet. It is one of the fundamental reasons life functions the way it does. We build our world around the assumption that Earth will continue spinning tomorrow, exactly as it did today. But what if that assumption suddenly failed? What if the disaster did not end with the winds and the oceans? Because the terrifying truth is that the worst consequences would only be beginning, and what happens next could permanently transform the entire planet. If Earth stopped spinning, the destruction would not end after the first few hours. In fact, the planet itself would begin to change in ways that are almost impossible to imagine. Right now, Earth is not a perfect sphere. Because of its rotation, the planet bulges slightly around the equator and is flatter near the poles. That shape exists because the constant spinning pushes material outward. But if the rotation suddenly disappeared, that force would vanish. Over time, the oceans would begin moving toward the poles. Entire coastlines would be transformed. Some regions near the equator could lose vast amounts of ocean water, exposing land that has remained underwater for millions of years. Meanwhile, areas closer to the poles could become submerged beneath expanding seas. Maps that humanity has known for centuries would no longer look the same. Countries, cities, and coastlines could be completely reshaped. But there is another consequence that could be even more devastating. The length of a day would change dramatically. Today, Earth completes one rotation every 24 hours. That rotation gives us the familiar cycle of day and night. Without it, one side of the planet would face the sun for an incredibly long period, while the other side would remain in darkness for just as long. The sunlit side would experience relentless heating. Temperatures could soar to extreme levels as sunlight continuously pours onto the same regions. Water sources would evaporate. Vegetation would struggle to survive. Large areas could become scorching deserts. At the same time, the dark side would endure the opposite fate. Without sunlight, temperatures would continue falling, colder and colder. Eventually, vast regions could become frozen wastelands covered in ice. Imagine a world where one half is baking under endless daylight while the other half is trapped in perpetual darkness. Life as we know it depends on the balance created by Earth's rotation. Remove that balance and the environment becomes increasingly hostile. Agriculture would collapse in many places. Food production would become a global challenge. Millions of people would be forced to migrate in search of habitable conditions. Entire economies could fail as infrastructure designed for today's climate becomes useless. And yet even these changes are not the most frightening part of this scenario, because Earth possesses another hidden layer of protection that most people never think about. A shield that guards life every second of every day. And if the planet stops spinning, that shield could be placed at risk. What happens then could determine whether life on Earth continues to thrive or faces its greatest challenge ever. That invisible shield is Earth's magnetic field. Most people never notice it. yet it protects life from a constant stream of charged particles coming from the sun. Without this protective barrier, Earth would be exposed to far more harmful radiation. Scientists believe Earth's magnetic field is linked to movements deep within the planet's interior, and while a sudden stop in Earth's rotation would not instantly erase the magnetic field, it could potentially affect systems that help sustain it over very long periods of time. If that protection weakens significantly, the consequences could be severe. More radiation could reach the surface. Satellites could become increasingly vulnerable. Communication networks and power systems could face greater risks. The technology that modern civilization depends on every day could become far less reliable. But perhaps the most remarkable part of this entire scenario is that Earth is not expected to suddenly stop spinning. The planet's rotation is incredibly stable. In fact, Earth's spin is gradually slowing down naturally, but at a rate so small that humans do not notice it in everyday life. The process takes millions of years, not seconds, not days, and certainly not overnight. So while this disaster remains firmly in the realm of imagination, it reveals something fascinating about our world. We often think of Earth as a solid, unchanging place, but in reality, countless systems work together to make life possible. The atmosphere, the oceans, the climate, the magnetic field, and the steady rotation of the planet beneath our feet. Every sunrise and sunset happens because Earth continues spinning exactly as it has for billions of years. It is such a normal part of life that most people never stop to think about it. Yet if that motion disappeared even for a moment, the consequences would be extraordinary. Powerful winds would sweep across continents. Massive oceans would reshape the planet. Entire climate zones would change, and the world we know today could become almost unrecognizable. The next time you watch the sun rise in the morning or disappear beyond the horizon at night, remember something incredible. You are standing on a planet that is spinning through space at tremendous speed. You cannot feel it. You cannot see it. But that constant motion helps make life on Earth possible. And maybe the most amazing fact of all is that one of the most important forces shaping your everyday life is something you never notice, because Earth has been spinning quietly beneath your feet the entire time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating mysteries and mind-blowing facts. And until next time, keep wondering.